Welcome everyone to another fun multi-category race. Tonight we've got ARealCutie versus Toasty, racing low percent ice. Or as ARealCutie likes to call it, new route any percent with slower bosses. Something tells me it's a little more difficult than that, but will be interesting to see how our runners. For myself, I have maybe seen a few runs like on AGDQ and stuff like that. So I don't know too much about the categories, so I'll be learning with the viewers. Welcome everyone to another fun multi-category race. Tonight we've got ARealCutie versus Toasty, racing low percent ice. Or as ARealCutie likes to call it, new route any percent with slower bosses. Something tells me it's a little more. So, wanting to double check the rules, the only items our runners will be allowed to pick up today are the Morph Ball, the Bombs, the Varia Suit, the Gravity Suit, the Charge Beam, the Ice Beam, one Power Bomb, a total of 3 Energy Tanks and Reserve Tanks, and a total of 4 Missiles and Super Missile expansions. Don't know the advantages between 10 missiles, 10 supers, or 5 missiles, 15 supers. I would assume more supers are better in order to be able to fight Ridley with as much ammo as possible. But maybe 5 missiles, 15 supers isn't enough to get through Turian. It's do I accidentally pick up mode? Got it. If you have to CWJ, it's possible to CWJ and not pick up the missiles? Didn't even know that. And our runners are off. Yes, Cutie, you are allowed to do low percent. No, I think there was an argument about that, so I'm not going to comment because I don't know about low percent speed. People were asking. Sloter says no, so the answer is no. Cutie reminding himself, do not pick up the missile by the charge beam. Do not pick up the missile by the charge beam. Do not pick up the missile in the mode. Low percent ice, going over it for the viewer in chat, is only a few items are allowed to be collected, namely the ice beam. So when you are collecting the ice beam, it is the fewest items that you can still finish the game with without going out of bounds. So our runners will be expected to finish the game with 14%. Runners doing their typical. Every single run in Super Metroid begins with this, unless you're in randomizer. Hence why Morph Ball and Bombs are two of the items that we are allowed to pick up in this category. So always enjoy watching the difference between wall climb and ledge grab strats, and then we'll be heading into our Bomb to Rizo fights. Cutie getting trolled by a wall pirate. Meanwhile, Toasty doing ledge grab. Less likely that they troll you doing this way. Cutie the first into Mr. Bomb to Rizo. We'll see if he's able to get the missile drops he wants to see. Toasty's shortly behind, of course. And gets them spread out just right. ARealCutie put his PB. I can check it on speed. ARealCutie coming in with a 1 hour 27 minute PB for low percent ice. Meanwhile, Toasty, I believe, says that he has finished this run once, and it was a 2 hour 19 minutes. ARealCutie being the higher seed had the defer or veto. He chose to defer. Toasty banned 100%, and then Cutie banned GT Classic. I think he was hoping that ARealCutie would choose GT Classic. Did ARealCutie remember to skip his missiles? He did. Toasty hesitating in a moment as he remembers to skip those missiles as well. Both runners grabbing their allowed power bombs and heading up the red tower. So up into Fantoon, the run is fairly similar to any percent. Maybe a few less missiles, and ARealCutie does not manage to skip the moat. Chat was saying that's very difficult to do. Nice horizontal bomb jump, first try. One of the real difficult things with this category is that there are no safety. Unlike RBO, also a very difficult category, you can't just get extra items to stay alive. Toasty choosing to take a save, not a bad idea. I expect to see several saves from him this race, and in fact, if Cutie doesn't save, that might be Toasty's best way to pull ahead. It would be a death from Cutie. I 100% to expect to see at least one death in this race. Into our Fantoon. A very clean 2-round from Cutie. Meanwhile, Toasty's setting up for the CWJ again. And Toasty's past the moat, the real boss of this game. Cutie grabbing the last piece of ammo he will be allowed to pick up. In fact, I believe the only other power-up that Cutie will be giving for the rest of the game is the Ice Beam. And his suits and tanks. Toasty into his Fantoon fight. Gravity suit, of course, because it would be way more items to do suitless Meridia without gravity. And then Varia suit, because otherwise you have to pick up more E-tanks to survive the rainbow beam. Ooh, Toasty's only got one super, so we better hope for some super drops or not missing it for that kill. ARealCutie, will he get his bowling strike? Bingo! Oh, Toasty takes the first death of the race. One E-take Fantoon is not a friendly thing. And that's what that save is for. Up until now, of course, it's very similar to any % new route. And now the real part of low % begins. Having not seen this yet, I'm going to assume we go kill Kraid now, so that way we can get that E-tank. Then again, a 2-tank blower Norfair is very common. Ooh, there we go. Toasty, another CWJ. And ARealCutie getting a nice morph ball weave down the tower. In a race scenario, I'm definitely going to assume the runners are going to kill the Kraid first and get that tank. Even though it is faster to go down to lower Norfair first. Toasty into Fantoon for the second time. And ARealCutie indeed is going to fight the Kraid. We'll see if he wants to dance or if he just wants to skip out on prom today. Oh, ARealCutie looks like he's thinking about it and shuts down Kraid on the second invitation. Meanwhile, Toasty having better luck, looks like, with his second Fantoon. Didn't want to risk the super there, going for one more round. Down goes Fantoon. ARealCutie getting his Varia suit. Ice Beam and 2 tanks to go. Wonder if there's any runners who choose to get a reserve tank instead of 3 E-tanks. Don't know why that would be a good idea. The rules on speedrun.com say 2 E-tanks and a reserve is allowed, so... I just don't know why you would do that. Oh, at least Runrunner did. Oh, safer fan tune because you have 2 tanks going in. That makes sense. I guess if you really wanted to be safer, you could go kill Kraid first and get Vario's suit to have the damage reduction against Fantoon. And ARealCutie picking up the namesake of the run on his way to the ice. We'll see if Toasty gets a bowling strike. Ah, a nice spare for Toasty, though. Only 2 hits. Nice ice escape for Cutie, getting out with that mock ball under the pillars. And with this E-tank, Cutie has completed his 14% and must now get the Ridley kill and the Dragon kill. Grabs that gamer to get out of the door. And here's where the fun begins. That ledge requires high jump. In randomizer, it's adjusted so you don't need it. Most runners will complain about this category because moving without high jump makes things very slow. Nice deep boost, though, to move across. Toasty, meanwhile, having picked up his gravity scoot and escaped the wrecked ship, will be on the way. I also assume he will be doing the Fantoon kill, following shortly on Cutie's heels. I believe the high jump E-tank is the easiest E-tank to get on the way here, excepting, even though you don't go for the high jump. The only other one that might be that slow is the Ridley E-tank, maybe? Cutie doing a gravity jump to get up into Ridley's lair by jumping when right after you turn the gravity suit off. You get to keep your speed, but have the momentum properties of water and lava. Meanwhile, Cutie is taking the safety save. I think Screw Attack is a required item for this category, right? I'm sure the runners wish they could have it. Looks like Cutie doing some power bomb farming. Indeed, you have to be very careful with your power bombs in this route because you cannot speed through the pillars, but at the same time, you can't pick up power bombs of Shane if you run out. So, Toasty heading into his Ridley fight, and clean kill. ARealCutie having fun in worst room in the game. Nice pirate freeze. The only other way through that room in this category is to bomb jump. And so that pirate freeze was very well done. Huh, I'm not even used to the runners going that far left into the room. Normally, that wouldn't be done since you could just high jump through it. Dodging the Three Musketeers and taking the before Ridley save. Toasty grabbing his Create tank. And we'll get into what is truly the first barrier in this category. 3-tank, Ice Beam only Ridley. I believe with no supers it is 300 shots? The supers will take off 100 of those. 200 shots. The point is, it's a lot of shots. Mother Brain having just as many. Toasty almost finished with his item collection. I want to see some ice shields. Come on, cutie. You will, of course, want to farm back up those super missiles and be at full health. Toasty setting up for his ice escape. Looks like he got the mock ball. Nice. The bugs don't want to give cutie supers. Ooh, gets off his farming pattern a bit, too. And there we go, full ammo into the first Ridley of the map. Shall we take a bet? Ooh, there's the ice shield. Shall we take a bet on how many times we're going to see Ridley this match? My bet is 4. Cutie doing a very nice job of manipulating Ridley. I wonder what's going to happen first if Cutie wins on his first try. Ridley dying or Toasty getting to Ridley? Toasty choosing to do some pre-Lower Northware farm, not a bad idea. Cutie saving his supers for when Ridley turns red, not a pretty good practice. It'll be a little easier to get that kill. I wonder if they're actually counting their shots or if they're just watching for the color change. Oh, some tail and some lava there for Cutie. Toasty into his gravity jump. And those little ice particles just don't seem to be hurting the space pigeon much. Toasty also taking a save and rightfully remembering to turn that gravity suit back. Oh, looks like Ridley got his color change. Well, if chat's right, that means 20 more shots and all of his ammo. Toasty attempting his worst room in the game climb. We'll see if he'll go, ooh, get bumps on the pirate. We'll see if he goes for the kill and bomb jump or the ice freeze like Cutie did. Looks like he just wants to kill it. Cutie, meanwhile, onto the ammo portion of the fight. Ooh, not quite yet dead yet, Cutie. One hit. Oh, there's the first death for Cutie. Looks like it was maybe a few more charge shots or maybe a missed super. Toasty threw worst room in the game, right on Cutie's heels after that Ridley death. Better hope that Toasty saves his power bombs appropriately. Good. Toasty remembering to save his power bomb. Well, both runners will be entering Ridley at around the same time now. Cutie for the second try. Ice shield makes such a nice noise. Oh, Toasty ran out of ammo and so has to kill the metal pirates with slow charge. Gets through there and he'll get his farm and join Cutie in the Ridley fight. Only somewhere between 100 and 150 shots to go for Cutie. I'm sure if some of the better runners were in here with me, we could talk about Ridley manipulation patterns. All I know is that Space Pigeon is hard and you want him to pogo. Like Cutie has him right there. Toasty with full ammo heads on in. Of course, unlike RBO, Ridley is not the end of the difficulty in this category. Well, in RBO you have to suitless Meridia. You don't have to do that here. But at least there you can speed booster kill Dragon instead of 10 missile, 10 super kill Dragon. Yes, Ridley just represents a nasty infestation of Space Pigeon. Uh-oh. Cutie taking another acid bath into the ammo portion of his fight. Being very careful with those super precious supers. Toasty, meanwhile, also doing well, chipping Ridley down. That looks like all the ammo hit for Cutie, and down goes the Space Pigeon for Cutie. You know, it's a good thing you don't actually have to see the broken Metroid container to progress the story. That would be modern to have to go in there and see it and have a cutscene and then a backwards cutscene to see something in the past. And then some sort of dialogue on how you hope you can see the baby Metroid again. I don't know what game you're referring to, Mr. Giggles. Cutie now on his way with only one boss to go. Toasty, meanwhile, is saying, I want to pump some missiles into the Ridley. He must not like Space Pigeons either. It is, of course, still a low E-tank Norfair escape, and these enemies all do a buttload of damage. And you don't want to have to redo that fight, so smart for another save from Cutie. Toasty trying to play tag here. Nice morph ball dodges. Cutie using the pseudo screw to get through the Namahe fires. Not bad. Alright, Toasty's getting close. Was he going to get Ridley down on the first try? Looks like he's doing some more shots just to be safe. Cutie being real careful to avoid this acid. And the Three Stooges, we'll see if they strike again. And Ridley is down for Toasty. First try. Nice job, Toasty. And indeed, the Three Stooges say no to Cutie. You may not pass today. Collect. You do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Ooh, I don't know if I would have run through that acid there, Toasty. I guess you can farm these guys up for more energy. Ooh, put the super into the ground, though. ARealCutie comes to face his nemesis once again. These enemies do... I don't remember how much damage. 50. Uh-oh. Ooh, 23 health. Escape for Cutie for now. It's still a few more enemies you got to avoid on the remaining exit here. And if Cutie takes another death here, Toasty's in the lead. Oh! Luckily they do almost no damage. Smart save, Toasty. Cutie heading up to the speed booster farm, it looks like. Oh, and make that annoying beeping stop. Ooh, Three Musketeers knocking Toasty down low. We'll see how the remaining key hunters fare our Toasty friend. Ah, choosing to powerbomb the Namahes. A little wasteful on ammo, but not a bad idea. I think he was hoping for one of them to drop some energy. The no high jump trolling Cutie as you have to wall jump to get up this. Uh-oh, Toasty getting low. Nice wall jumps. Looks like Toasty's taking his time and wants to kill the first one. Wow, that takes a really large amount of super missiles. Toasty deciding he wants to play it safe, even though it'll take him a little while to kill. Meanwhile, Cutie into Meridia. Oh, Toasty. Almost got a Toasty. There you go. 26 health. Now, can he avoid the remaining enemies that do like 5 damage at a time? Ah, power bombing them. Smart. Uh-oh. He doesn't have a super to get to the farm. Aw, but Cack Attack bails him out. Again, love the way the Super Metroid designers set up this game so that way so many of these little doors, if you happen to go in with no ammo, the enemy that drops the ammo is right by you. Cutie not taking a save before bot wound. Dying here, of course, is fairly low risk, but the fight could definitely drag on considerably if he happens to miss any. Of course, how shall he get through this door without Speed Booster? Yay, ice clipping. So many categories and so many things in this game that are only possible because of clips like that. Toasty did die once to the one tank Fantoon. And indeed, Cutie didn't quite get all his supers, and now has to ice shoot the snake. But still gets through no problem. So if you stand in that far corner, I believe Baoon can never hit you when he's moving around the room. Very convenient of the programmers to put that in for us. Huh, I never even thought about how difficult it would be to get through this room without Speed Booster. Farming up for Dragon. And Toasty, hot on Cutie's heels into Meridian. Into our second super annoying boss. Oh. Yep. Gravity jumps to get through Meridia a little faster without that high jump. Cutie begins the shrimp fight. Ooh, gets a goop first try. Ooh, missed with super there, I think. At least against this boss, you can farm ammo. Terrible drops for Cutie. Toasty's gonna do an Ice SBA against Botloon. Dragon's mad. I wonder what happens if you accidentally pick up Botloon E-Tank. You gotta reset? I think you have to bomb to get it back over there, so... And down goes the Dragon for Cutie. Nice fight. Now only one truly hard thing left to do in the game, which is a 200-shot Mother Brain. Toasty beginning the shrimp fight. Having to use a super to kill the other turret. Cutie heading into... on his way to the Golden 4. Nice, got all 4 particles to hit, Toasty. The special beam attacks are always nice and fun. With Dragon, I imagine you want to get your supers out early in the fight when she's moving a little slow. And the goop's not in the way. Man, moving around without high jump in Meridia is annoying. As Cutie shows, you have to bomb jump doors like this. You got a super left, Toasty. There we go. We are not going to play the counting game this time to count how many shots we are into the Mother Brain. I do not feel like counting all the way up to 200, please. I was going to laugh when Toasty pseudo-screwed Dragon to death. Cutie taking the ship refill. I would too if I only had one super heading into... Ah, I got a super from the goop. Wonder what the drop rate for the goop is for supers. And with that super, Dragon is down for Toasty. It's like he's choosing to gravity jump out. Very well done. $51.56 into the Golden 4 for Cutie. And since I'm sure all of you are curious, the world record in this category is a 49.06, held by Overfiend via 49.10, sorry. Zost is second and Kip is third, so gotta be careful if you want to challenge them in this tournament of this category. Turian strats are just a little slower here. Can't move quite as quickly without the speed booster or the high jump. Looks like Cutie doing some grouping strats to compensate for that. Oh, you gotta jump first, Toasty. No D-boost from the Rinkos for Cutie. I believe without having Spazer or Plasma, the baby skip tends not to be worth it, especially at this low of health. And indeed, Cutie is damaging down. Toasty, thankfully, having the one super he needed to get through that green gate. But he had all the missiles. Oh, he opened the door. Oh, you have to open the door anyways and refill, so that makes sense why baby skip is even worse in this category. And Cutie taking the last save of the run. The only question is, how many more times are we going to see that save station from our runner? A 55-56 for Toasty heading into Golden 4. Very well done. Only 4 minutes behind ARealCutie. And of course, the Zeb skip being mandatory in this category. No Zeb skip here. Oh, he missed a missile and on the glass and had to reset. Didn't get that Rinko into the right position. Meanwhile, here's an opportunity for Toasty to catch up. Cutie positioning himself very carefully this time. One missile to spare. And now, 200 shots to go. Toasty, meanwhile, approaching rapidly. So if Cutie takes a reset here, Toasty could be in the lead. Of course, one must have 2 E-tanks and 1 energy. I believe it's 1, not 0. In order to survive the rainbow beam. Can only afford to take 1 or 2 hits through this. I just can imagine how painful it would be to have the Idor beam hit you and kill you right here. Oh! Cutie takes his first hit. Once, there's the onion rings. There's the potatoes, and there's the french fries. So once we see that ketchup starting to come out, then we'll know Cutie's close. Ooh, gets the perfect dodge where you hear the noise, but it doesn't hurt you. I don't know how that works, but it does. And Toasty is now also in Mother Brain's lair. And so Cutie, if he takes a death here, will give Toasty an opportunity for the win. Clean missile for Toasty. Both runners into Mother Brain. A Cutie only about 100-something shots ahead, at least. But down to only 1 remaining hit before Mother Brain starts being, shall we say, painful? And there's our first catch-up. Somewhere around 50 shots to go. Toasty choosing to bomb some of the potatoes. I'm just here to listen to the relaxing of the ice beam. Toasty, meanwhile, has taken 2 hits so far. Single ketchup hit would spell the end for Cutie here. But he's keeping his cool, keeping his calm, and continuing to plink away at the big brain. Happened to have that 1 missile left. And there we go. Well done, Cutie. Now we're finally into the part of the game where we get actually a weapon. But first, let us all pay our respects to the baby Metroid. Toasty getting his perfect potato counter. Come on, Toasty, you can do it. The baby is trying to do its best. Its sacrifice shall not be in vain. Ooh, close dodge there from Toasty. Still no ketchup yet, though. And it must feel so satisfying after those 200 shots to be able to just pound into Mother Brain's face with the rainbow beam. And with that, Mother Brain is down for Cutie into the escape. One of the only times you will see the escape done without the speed booster outside of randomizer. Oh no! Toasty hit the onion rings in the face. He is now below his rainbow beam threshold and must reset. So close, Toasty. I think he just is trying to figure out how close his count was to catch up. Yeah, he was almost 3/4 of the way through. Come on, Cutie, go save the animals. Like a real man would. No man, person, or beast left behind. Ooh, Toasty taking a Rinko ahead. With that, ARealCutie has finished in first place in this race with a official SRL time of 1:06.11. GG, well done, Cutie. Oh, looks like Toasty missed a missile. I believe that improves Cutie's PB on the leaderboards by approximately 14 minutes. Well done. Ice shield! Big thank you to Cutie and Toasty for this race. Well done to both runners. Toasty, meanwhile, will hopefully be able to fight through Mother Brain for us. He's only about 1 hour faster than personal best pace right now. As always, please make sure to follow our runner. Oh, looks like that didn't get updated. Go follow those runners too. Reminder, there will be plenty more Super Metroid multi-category action. Tomorrow, we will have Andrew versus Shiny Zenny, followed by Nevdi versus Dirt, Iora versus Cerberoth, and Asder versus BF Robert. Make sure to also tune in for next week's categories of RBO, Low Boss, All Bosses, and GT Classic. You got this, Toasty. It's almost catch-up time. Thank you, Tracy. And Cutie showing off that validation screen of 14% collection rate, confirming that indeed this is low percent. And there's our first catch-up beam for Toasty. Just hold on a little longer. God, that noise is always scary because I feel like you've taken damage when you haven't. I believe that's 40. And Toasty into the rainbow beam. Well done. On the way to his, please give me something that actually does damage. Beam. The baby making its sacrifice for Toasty to give him the power to fight. Only an escape lies between Toasty and his new PB for low percent. Looks like this will place Toasty around 48th on the leaderboard. A considerable shot up in this category. Well done, Toasty, on improving your PB by almost an... over an hour. Think of the animals, Toasty. And Toasty has finished with an official SRL time of 1:17:09. Well done, GG to Toasty. It's the attack of the giant diamond. Well, that was very loud. Hi, Toasty, and you deserved it.
Oh, man. Thank you for, wow. Good game to Cutie. That was, that's so nerve-wracking. I was, my hands were shaking. I was getting the heart rate and the, man.
Well, You had the early death to Fantoon, but you pulled out to Ridley. You made it past all the key hunters. You pulled it out against Dragon. Well done.
Yeah, thank you. I just, yeah, it was a really good run. I was really happy to get Ridley first try, and Fantoon was a bit tilting. It was like, you know, out of all the fights, I was like pretty comfortable, the most comfortable with Fantoon. But yeah, Mother Brain, I'm so thrilled to get that fight in just a couple attempts. That's crazy. And I mean, my goal was to get to Mother Brain before Cutie finished, and I was thrilled. I mean, I can't believe that I got there when he was still on the fight. It was really cool.
Yeah, he was 23 HP in his third tank, and he was in his catch-up phase while you were just entering into the fight. And so we're like, well, if Cutie takes one more hit here, then Toasty will have a pretty good chance.
Yeah, that was awesome. I was, yeah, it was a great race. I can't believe I was, you know, on Cutie's heels at all. Really cool. Props to Cutie. Both of us, I think, had finished exactly one low percent ever before this. Unless I think Cutie might have done one today or yesterday, like before this. But.
I think he said like 2 years ago he had done it a few times, but not any time since then.
So yeah, hell of a runner. Really, just an incredible runner, top tier, cool guy. It was a blast to race him, and it was a blast to even be close. it was a good race.
Well, it was a fun race to commentate. I've never really seen low percent ice before, so it was really interesting to watch both of you go in. As we get on your validation screen here to make sure you got that 14%. You did.
Yeah, thanks for comms, and thanks everybody for hanging out. And so I know this can be a long one, so thanks for hopping in here.
I am very grateful that you cut an hour off your PB, to be fair.
Yeah, me too. That makes two of us. Yeah, I definitely, my first attempt, it was like 10 or so attempts on Mother Brain too, so this was really pretty incredible. It's just so nerve-wracking. The catch-up, it's such a long fight. It's hard to keep your cool that long. You start thinking about stuff, and that's the worst. You don't want to think. You just want to do, and it's bad. Anyway.
And are you counting your shots, and you're like counting down from 50, 10, 9.
Oh, I can barely count to 20, so I was just praying that I was just watching Mother Brain's arm like a vulture, and I was like, oh. And I had to catch myself from anticipating a catch up and jumping early, which got me killed before. And it's just like, whew. Anyway.
Well, are you ready for some RBO next week then? If you're going to be doing more categories like this?
Yes, I'm much more comfortable with RBO. I've done a lot of RBO, so I would love to do RBO. Yeah.
Well, GG, well done, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Yeah, GG ARealCutie, and good luck in the rest of the tournament, and thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone, for coming and watching, and we will all see you next mission.